Okay, good morning, students. Last class we discussed the syllabus of geotechnical engineering, that is the basic geotechnical engineering. We discussed the syllabus of basic geotechnical engineering. We discussed first module, second module, third, fourth, and the fifth module. What are the contents are there? What is the percentage of numericals and what is the percentage of theory? What are the theory you can expect? These are the things we discussed in last class. Today's class, we are starting first module. As we know, in the first module, there is the syllabus we already discussed. Once again, I will brief about the first module. There is the introduction to the basic geotechnical engineering, origin, formation of soil, regional soil deposits, and phase diagram. Different types of phase diagrams, and what are the relationship, mathematical relationship with each terms and definitions that is come under the first part of first module. In a second part, there are the, as we know, there are the two types of property. There is the soil property, index property, and engineering property. In a first module, that is the first module, it contains the index properties. What are the tests we have to conduct with these tests? What is the objective? What are the result we can get it? What is the procedure? These are the things there in determination of index property of soil. Last one is definition of soil. As we know, soil is the basic building material. Okay, we already discussed there are the different types of soils are there. Black color soil, red soil, and yellow color soil. Like that, different types of soils are there. The term of soil can be different meaning depending upon the field which it's considered. For example, in building construction, we are using in a different meaning, like a subgrade. In a road construction, we call it as a subgrade material. For the building construction, we treat it as a different material. And tunnel construction, we call it as a different material. Like that, the term soil can have different meaning depend upon that is the field of construction. As a geologist, it means the relative thin zone earth surface which root occur and which are formed as product of past surface process. The rest of the crust group under the term of rock. Means in the earth, the geologist view are different. Based on the geologist view, what are the rest of the crust is grouped under the term of rock. In another name, we call it as a soil. And a pedologist, it is a substance existing on the surface which supported the plant and life. Means in a pedologist, that pedologist views is different. Soil is one of the existing material on the surface which is supports or helps to crop a plant or support a plant life. There is the views are different. Come to the engineering. As a civil engineering, material that soil material that can be used as a building on foundation of building and bridges. We can construct the buildings and bridges on the soil material in the basement and culvert tunnels within the soil. For example, tunnel construction, underground tunnel construction. Okay, inside the soil mass, there is the tunnel, and the basement, there is the lower level parking. There is a G-1, G-2, G-3, like parking or some other purpose. There is the basement and culverts below the in irrigation structure. Some of these structures are belongs to culverts. These culverts are within a soil mass. Okay, and built within the soil, there is the embankment, is nothing but the earthen dams. Embankment, road, dams, these are all come under the build within the soil mass. And how we can support the soil, what are the support structures, is nothing but a compounds. In another term, we call it as a compound. In a technical term, we call it as a retaining wall. It gives the structure, helps to the retaining, supports to the retaining wall. Means, as we already discussed, geologist view is that is the material. Soil is the one of the material on in the rock formation. It helps after the rock formation, like that. And pedologist is a material to crop a plant. As an engineer, within a soil, on the soil, and in the soil, and supported like foundation, culverts, dams, embankment, roads, supports, and retaining wall. And next one is the soil mechanics. We already discussed. Initially, they call it as in a soil mechanics. Afterwards, they change it to geotechnical engineering. Now that is the basic geotechnical engineering. Means only that is the terms are different, concepts are same. Soil mechanic is in a discipline of civil engineering. Means there is a one of the specialization in civil engineering involve the complete study of different types of soil. That is better, different types of soil, its behave, how it behave when you add the water or any material, how it behave soil, how it behave the soil, and where you can use the that is the application as a engineering material. For example, soil, with the help of the soil you can manufacture the brick. With the help of the soil you can manufacture the compound walls and the roads. You can, that is the application as a engineering material. Means soil mechanics or geotechnical is the one of the branch of civil engineering. And what is the formation? How you can get the formation of soil? Soil is formed from the rock due to erosion. As we know, there is the soil is not directly come from any other material. It is the formation of rock due to erosion, weathering action, like that. With as we discussed, there is the soil formation we can expect from the erosions, and due to movement there is a transport from the one place to another place, and weathering action is nothing but a climatic action. And igneous rock is the basic rock. Igneous, for example, granite is the good example of igneous rock. As you already studied in third semester geology subject, applied geology subject, igneous rock. Igneous rock, that is the example of, that is the granite is a good example for igneous rock, formed from the crystallization of molten magma. This rock is formed there inside the earth on the surface. The rock undergo the metamorphic under the high temperature and pressure from the metamorphic rock. As we know, there are the three different types of rocks are there: igneous rock, metamorphic rock, and what is the one more? Can anyone?
Sedimentary rock.
Sedimentary rock, exactly. Sandy soil, sandy, that is the rock is good example for sediment rock. Both the igneous and the metamorphic rocks are converted into the sedimentary rock. Means there is the due to magma as well as they due to transport, the combination of both igneous and metamorphic rock converted into the sedimentary rock due to transportation and different location, and that is the transportation agents is from the wind, water, air, etc. Finally, near the surface, millions of years, that is the erosion deposited, whether converted a rock into the soil. It take not only it takes there is a millions of years, not 1 or 2 day, millions of years to convert a rock to the soil. I already mentioned soil mechanics is a branch of civil engineering which deals with the physics and engineering mechanics of behavior of soil, how it is behave. For example, physics, if you add some other material or any cement material to the soil, how it is behave, what is the property, is there any properties are changed or not, we can find out. And it differ from the fluid mechanics and solid mechanics. As you know, soil has this some capacity, that is the water holding capacity, water absorption capacity, or water retention capacity. Fluid mechanics and a solid mechanics, in this sense that soil consists of heterogeneous mixture of fluids, usually air and water, and the particle, usually clay, silt, sand, and gravel. But soil may also contain the organic solids and other matter. The soil is combination of silt, clay, gravel, sand, and other organic material. The mixture of these materials, and if you add the water or any fluid materials, okay, there is the heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, you can't expect the only soil means only silt, only sand. No, you can expect the n number of that is the material, then only it can become the soil. And if you add any other material, it changes engineering properties or physical properties or any other mechanical properties or change. That mechanics we call it in a soil mechanics. And process of formation of soil, what is the process? As a result of continuously taking place geological cycle on the surface of earth, the formation of soil take place. Means there is the geological formation. As we already discussed, igneous rock and metamorphic rock. The combination of igneous rock and metamorphic rock, it is exposed to the, that is the weathering action. Okay, it take millions of years to convert it as a sandy soil or sandy stone. Okay, then it is converted as a soil. It formation of the soil take place not in 1 or 2 days. It take millions of years. The continuous cycle consists of weathering, transport, deposition, and leaven, which is again followed by the weathering action and subsequent activities. Subsequent activities, like that is the movement of air water from the one point to another point, it is come under the transportation. Okay, and weathering can be mainly caused due to the physical agencies such as in a periodic temperature changes, heavy rainfall, sunlight. Heavy during the summer you can see the some of the igneous rocks are splitted into two parts. Okay, are rubbed due to that is the wind movement. Means due to these actions you can expect the small amount of finest material. These materials are converted as in a soil, and after these soils again they divided into the two parts. The not only divided into two parts, there is the cohesive soil and cohesionless soil. Cohesion is nothing but a binding. Cohesive material, best example of cohesive material is there is the clay. If C value is 50 or 60 or 80, some value means it is related to clay soil. Cohesionless soil means there is the sand. Usually in your PGCET or competitive examinations, they will ask best example of cohesionless soil, clay, sand, like that. They will ask. Cohesionless soil means sandy soil, or sand is the best example of cohesionless soil. Cohesive soil means clay soils. You can get both cohesive soil and cohesionless soil. Minerals are produced mainly due to chemical weathering. Whether after the chemical reaction or chemical weathering, you can expect these kinds of that is the material. This is the process of formation of soil. And the residential soil are found directly over the parent rock to a relatively shallow depth. As we know, there are the two types of depths are there: shallow depth and the deep depth. More than 3 meter, that is call it a 3 to 4 meter. They call it as a deep depth, and less than 3 meter or 4 meter, we call it as a shallow depth. With the help of the there is the parent rock, due to there is the chemical reaction or there is the weather, wind, or sunlight. Okay, we can get the small amount of there is the soil or residential soil from the parent rock. Various, as we already discussed, various agencies of transportation and redeposition of soil or water like ice, wind, gravity, we can expect from these kind of agencies. As we already discussed, there are the different types of soils are there. Okay, based on the different region, broadly they classified into two types. There is the residual soil and transported soil. Residual soil means, for example, there is a parent rock. Okay, due to rain or due to wind, it moves from the one place to another place with a restricted, that is the distance, 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter. Okay, it deposit there only. Okay, that is the good example of residual soil. And transported soil means, for example, if you want to construct a building near Dodballapur. Okay. For example, near Dodballapur, you can't expect the good type of soil. That is the good soil. You are transporting from the one point to another point, from Kolar or Chikmagaluru. You are transporting from the one point to another point. That is also slightly related to, that is the example of transported soil. And we already discussed that is the phase diagram. In the last class, I brief about the phase diagrams. I given the example also. It is the lake, football ground, as well as the garden soil. Usually, there are the there is the three-phase diagram and as well as the two-phase diagrams are we can expect. In a figure number 1.2a, soil, that is the good example of three-phase system. Three-phase system. The three-phase system is the combination of air, water, as well as the solids. This is the typical cross section of the three-phase diagram. As we know, bottom one is soil, and in between second layer is water, and the first layer is there is the air, water, and soil. Okay. You can take the measuring jar. Okay, you can insert the there is the soil, above that one water, and above that one, as we know, there is the air. Okay, if you understand the three-phase diagram, module 1, 60% that is the problems are solved. Okay, only thing is you are interlinked with these parameter in the mathematical expression. That's all. Here in a three-phase diagram, bottom one is the soil. As we know, that is the weight of the soil, ws. You can see left hand side weight and volume, right hand side is the volume, left hand side is the weight of soil, above that one weight of water, above that one weight of air. Okay, obviously we can't measure the weight of air in this condition, so that was wa, that is the weight of air, is 0. And weight of water, we don't know, that is the 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, like that, depends. Okay, depend upon the there is the field. And a weight of soil also we can measure. Then in come to the weight of air we can't measure, so we are assuming weight of air is 0. Weight of water we can measure, and weight of soil also we can measure. The combination of weight of air and weight of water, we call it as a weight of volume, that is WV. Sorry, weight of voids, WV. We indicated as in voids. Weight of air plus weight of water, we call it as a weight of voids. Okay. Next, the total WA plus WW plus WS, we call it as a total weight of three-phase diagram. Come to the right hand side, the total, you can see volume of the air, we call it as a VA, and next one volume of water, VW, and next one is the volume of soils, VS. Volume of air and volume of water, we call it as a VV, volume of voids. And the combination of VA plus VW plus VS, we call it as a V, that is the total volume, that is V. Two-phase diagram, this is a good example. The three-phase diagram is a good example of lake soil. Can you assume in a lake, bottom side is completely soil, above the soil there is a water, and that one there is an air. There is a good example of lake or sediment soil. And next one is the two-phase diagram, that is only soil particles. Please. Second one is that is the two-phase diagram. There is completely there is the dry soil. The best example is there is the football ground. Okay, bottom side you can see there is the solid particles. There is the soil. There is completely dry soil. Above the soil there is an air. Okay, two-phase diagram. That soil is completely dry soil. Means moisture content is completely 0. Here, weight of soil, WS, is known as a weight of soil. WA is nothing but a weight of air. Weight of air plus weight of soil, we call it as a total weight, that is W. Come to the right hand side, VS is nothing but a volume of soil, that is the dry soil, and the next one is the above that volume of air, that is VA. The combination of both VA plus Vs, volume of air plus volume of soil. We call it as in a V, that is total volume. Same, there is the two-phase diagram for saturated soil. Here we can expect the small amount of water. There is the saturated soil. Here also two-phase diagram. The best example is there is the garden soil. Okay, in a garden soil we can expect the small amount of there is the moisture content. Here also left hand side, that is WS, weight of soil. This soil is saturated soil, means we can expect the small amount of that is the water or moisture. Above that, weight of water, that is WW. Weight of soil plus weight of water, the combination of both, we call it as a W, that is weight. Come to the right hand side, volume of soil, that is the wet soil, volume of wet soil and volume of water. The combination of both volume of soil and volume of water, we call it as a total volume, that is the V. And here, based on third phase, three-phase diagram, two-phase diagram, and again dry soil and saturated soil, these three combination, with the help of these three combination, we can find out the what are the mathematical expressions. First one is the degree of saturation. Degree of saturation is nothing but a, that is the saturated soil, how much that is the soil is saturated. Okay, how we can calculate? The best example is for the saturated soil is lake soil and garden soil. In garden soil we can feel there is any moisture content, but we don't know what is the percentage. Numerically we don't know. We can calculate the percentage of water with the help of this mathematical expression, that is called as a degree of saturation. Once again I will repeat, we can feel in a garden soil there is a small amount of moisture content, but mathematically we can't calculate. With the help of this mathematical expression, we can calculate what is the percentage of water is present in garden soil. Garden soil and lake soil is a good example of degree of saturation. How we can calculate? Degree of saturation is denoted by SR, capital S, small r, SR, or capital S. Some of the textbook they mention SR, degree of saturation SR. In some of the textbook they mention as an S, but both are same. They denoted in S as well as SR. SR equals VW. VW is nothing but a volume of water. VW is nothing but a volume of water divided by VV, volume of voids. Volume of water divided by volume of voids into 100 because of percentage. Okay, we can calculate with the help of this mathematical expression, we can calculate what is the degree of saturation. For example, for the dry soil, degree of saturation is always 0 because moisture content is 0. If moisture content is 0, degree of saturation is also 0. Okay. Lake soil. Lake. In lake soil means soil above that complete covered with the water, above that air. Okay. Lake soil is the good example for 100% because it is completely merged in water. The soil is completely merged in water, so we call it as an 100%. 100% or 1. Okay, fully saturated, that soil is completely saturated, completely wet, so SR equals 1 or 100%. For garden soil, there is a moisture content, not completely 100%, at the same time not completely 0. There is a small percentage of water, sometimes 40, 50, 60, 80. We can calculate with help of degree of saturation. In examination, in some of the problem, they will ask like this: consider a or assume the lake soil. Assume lake soil, then degree of saturation is 1 or 100. You have to assume the value. Lake soil means 1 or 100. Sometimes they will give in the problem you can expect that is a completely dry soil. then SR equals to 0. Okay. And next one is the air voids. Air voids is denoted by Na, small n, small a. Air voids is denoted by Na. Na equals Va. Va means volume of air voids. Va, volume of air void, divided by total volume, that is V. Na equals total volume, volume of air divided by total volume into 100. We can calculate what is the air void content. And next one is the air content. It is denoted by AC. Air content is denoted by AC, that is the volume of air voids, that is Va divided by V into 100. Here air void at the same time air content, okay, both are similar. Only thing is some problem they will ask, specifically they will ask what is the meaning of air voids. You have to calculate air voids, then you have to go for the Na. Some problem they will ask the air content, then you have to go for the AC. Unit weight. In your BMT lab and some of the laboratory, you already calculated the unit weight of different material. Here unit weight is denoted by gamma. Gamma equals weight of material divided by volume of material. Okay. Gamma equals, there is unit weight equals weight divided by volume. Okay. The units are kilonewton per meter cube, Newton per mm cube, or gram per cc, or gram per centimeter cube. This is the usual units for unit weight. If you want to calculate unit weight of soil means density gamma S is nothing but a unit weight of soil. Gamma S equals weight of soil divided by volume of soil. If you go for the water, weight of water divided by volume of water, like that. Units I already mentioned, that is kilonewton per meter cube, Newton per mm cube, or gram per centimeter cube. This is the general units for unit weight. And specific gravity. Specific gravity, it is a one of the property. Specific gravity of soil particles, it is denoted by G, is defined as a ratio of the mass of given volume of solids to the mass of an equal volume of the water at 4 degrees Celsius. The mathematical expression is, that is the weight of soil divided by volume of soil into unit weight of water. Unit weight of water is usually 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube, or 1 gram per cc. In another mathematical expression is G is denoted by specific gravity. G equals gamma S, unit weight of soil divided by unit weight of water. Unit weight of water equals volume of soil into volume of water. At 4-degree temperature, I already mentioned, that is the unit weight is 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube, or 1 gram per cc. Bulk unit weight. It is defined as a weight per unit volume of soil. It is also called as a mass unit weight, and it is denoted by gamma B. Gamma B means bulk unit weight. See, when bulk unit weight is coming to picture means, if that soil is saturated, then bulk unit weight come into picture. Gamma D. Gamma D means, D means that is the dry unit weight. When dry unit weight come into picture means that soil is completely dry, means gamma D come into picture. In examination, they will ask calculate bulk unit weight. Then you have to assume that soil is saturated soil. In some problem, they will ask calculate dry unit weight. Then you have to assume that soil, it don't have any moisture content or water content. The mathematical expression of gamma B equals weight by volume. Here weight is content is soil as well as the water. So that was WW weight of water plus WS weight of soil divided by V, that is the volume. Here total weight equals weight of air plus weight of water plus weight of soil. That is the three-phase diagram. Weight of air is 0, So that was weight of water plus weight of soil we can expect. Dry unit weight. I already mentioned dry unit weight is denoted by gamma D. Gamma D means that soil is completely dry soil. Here weight of dry soil divided by total volume. Weight of dry soil means weight of air is 0, weight of water is 0. Only you have to take the weight of soil divided by volume. And saturated unit weight means small amount of water you can expect. Here also weight of water plus weight of soil divided by volume. And next one is submerged unit weight. The best example is that is the lake soil. The soil is completely merged in water. So that was submerged unit weight. Weight of submerged soil divided by V. That is the usual mathematical expression. And next one is porosity, means it is nothing but a volume of voids to the total volume of soil mass. That is porosity. The mathematical expression is porosity is denoted by n, that is the small n. Small n equals volume of voids, that is the VV, volume of voids. Volume of voids equals volume of air plus volume of water. Volume of voids equals volume of air plus volume of water divided by total volume. Total volume means volume of air, water and soil. Three-phase diagram. Okay. Volume of voids divided by total volume into 100. We can find out what is the porosity of the soil. Next, void ratio. Void ratio, it is denoted by small e. Small e equals volume of voids divided by volume of soil. Volume of voids means again volume of air plus volume of water divided by volume of soil. Again, I will repeat once again. These basic definitions are useful for your entire basic geotechnical engineering. If you know all, that is the 8 basic definition, sorry, uh, 13 basic definition, you can easily attempt the first, second and third and fourth module, fifth module. These are the basic mathematical expression. First one is that is the degree of saturation. Degree of saturation equal, it is noted by SR. SR is equal to volume of water, only volume of water divided by volume of voids into 100. For lake soil, degree of saturation is always 100% or 1. For dry soil, degree of saturation is always 0. And air watts, it is denoted by Na. Na equals volume of air divided by total volume. Volume of into 100, we can find out the air voids. Air content, it is denoted by AC. AC equals volume of air divided by volume into 100. Unit weight, that is denoted by gamma. Gamma is equal to weight by volume. The units is kilonewton per meter cube, gram per cc, newton per mm cube, or gram per centimeter cube. If you want to calculate unit weight of soil divided by volume of soil. If you want to calculate unit weight of water, that is the gamma W is equal to weight of water divided by volume of water. Usually, there is the gamma W equals 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube or 1 gram per cc. Then specific gravity, it is denoted by G. G is equal to unit weight of soil divided by unit weight of water. Bulk unit weight. Bulk unit weight equals, that is the saturated soil weight. It contains only weight of water plus weight of soil divided by V. That is the total volume. Dry unit weight, that is the weight of soil, that is weight of dry soil divided by total volume. Here dry soil means weight of air is 0. And saturated soil, again weight of water plus weight of soil divided by total volume. it is denoted by gamma sat or gamma saturation. Submerged unit weight, that is the best example is that is the lake soil, weight of subgrade soil divided by weight of volume, that is the unit weight of submerged soil. Porosity, it is denoted by N, that is the small n, that is the volume of voids divided by total volume into 100. Next one is the void ratio. It is denoted by small e. Small e equals volume of voids divided by volume of soil. These are the 13 basic definitions. In examination also, they will ask for 4 to 5 marks. For example, define porosity, define submerged unit weight, define saturated unit weight, or define bulk unit weight, or define specific gravity. Means these are the usual questions they will ask in examination, 4 to 5 marks. Okay, with mathematical expression. Don't write definition, write down the mathematical expression also. If it is possible, sometimes they will ask use three-phase diagram or use two-phase diagram. I already mentioned that is this is the two-phase diagram and three-phase diagram. With the help of two-phase diagram and three-phase diagram, define specific gravity, define degree of saturation, define dry density. You can expect for 8 to 10 marks. With the help of this sketch, you have to write down the or you have to mention the what are the math explain the mathematical expression. With the help of these basic mathematical expression, there is any relationships are there. Okay, relationships. First relationship is derive the relationship between E and N. What is the meaning of E? Students, any doubt with respect to basic definitions? 13 basic definitions. Can anyone reply?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall I continue or shall I repeat once again? Can anyone?
Continue, sir.
Okay, thank you. There is an relationships. First one is derive the relationships between E and N. In examination, you can expect this relationship 5 to 6 marks. Okay. In examination, 100% you can expect any 2 to 3 relationships. Any 2 to 3 relationships. Totally, that is the 9 relationships are there. 2 to 3 100% confirm. Okay, they will ask in examination. And one more thing is with help of these relationship only, okay, you can solve the next upcoming problem and you can go for the next module. Without that 13 formula and 9 mathematical expression, that is the relationships, you can solve any problem, otherwise you can't solve it. Okay, these are the basic steps or basic foundation for geotechnical engineering. For basic geotechnical engineering, our next semester, that is applied geotechnical engineering, these 13 formulas and 9 derivations are mandatory at the same time requirement. Okay, first one is derive the relationship between small e and n. Small e is nothing but a void ratio. Small e is denoted by void ratio. As we already discussed, with the help of three-phase and two-phase diagram, void ratio equals volume of voids divided by volume of soil. And porosity, it is denoted by N. N equals volume of voids divided by total volume. Void ratio equals VV divided by Vs, volume of voids divided by volume of soil. Porosity, that is N equals volume of voids divided by total volume. So E equals void ratio, E equals VV divided by Vs, volume of voids divided by volume of soil, equals volume of voids, keep it as any constant, keep it as like that, divided by volume of soil you can replace as a total volume minus volume of voids, V minus VV. Okay, and next one, dividing the numerator and denominator by V, that is volume. Here numerator volume of watts divided by V total volume divided by whole divided by total volume divided by total volume, that is V divided by V minus VV, that is the volume of watts divided by V. Here VV, that is the numerator, VV divided by V is nothing but a N. You can see porosity N is equal to VV divided by V, that is N, divided by total volume divided by total volume, that is 1 minus again VV divided by V, that is N. So that E is equal to N, that is VV divided by V, that is the porosity N divided by 1 minus N, again VV divided by V. Any doubt? Students, any doubt? How to calculate E value? Can anyone reply? Students, any doubt with respect to E calculation, that is void ratio calculation?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, pa. Next step is, that is in some examination paper, they will ask what is the relationship of E and E, like E is equal to N divided by 1 minus N. In some examination, they will reverse it. N is equal to E divided by 1 plus E. Second one, how we can calculate N is equal to E divided by 1 plus E. Second one, that is the N. N, it is denoted by porosity. N is equal to volume of watts, that is VV, divided by V, that is total volume, is equal to volume of watts, that is VV, divided by total volume. Total volume equals volume of watts plus volume of soil. Volume of watts means volume of air plus volume of water, that is volume of watts, plus volume of soil, that is total volume, is equal to, here dividing the numerator as well as the denominator by Vs is nothing but a volume of, here Vv divided by Vs, again divided by Vv divided by Vs minus Vs divided by Vs. Here first one, numerator V divided by Vs, it is E, that is void ratio. Void ratio is equal to VV divided by Vs, E divided by again VV divided by Vs, and this E, again Vs divided by Vs, that is 1. Here N is equal to E divided by 1 plus E. Okay, any doubt? Any doubt? Any doubt, students?
No, sir.
Any doubt? In examination, you can expect 6 to 7 marks. Sometimes 8 marks you can expect this derivation. Okay. Students, in a chat box, I will share the link, that is the attendance link, as well as that is the quiz link. There are the 3 objective type questions you can expect. Okay. Today we started the first module, that is the introduction part. in introduction is the formation of soil and different types of soil, and what are the index property of soil, and how we can calculate the index property of soil. And next one, what is the basic definitions: porosity, void ratio, unit weight, specific gravity. These are the things, and we discussed that is the mathematical expressions. And next one is one derivation. What is the relationship between void ratio and porosity? That is N and E. Today we discuss these are the things. In the next class, please go through those 13 mathematical expression and one derivation. Okay, these are actually basic steps for next upcoming semester in applied geotechnical engineering, and the current semester there is the basic geotechnical engineering. Without this mathematical expression and derivation, we can't go next step. We can't go for any chapter. We can't touch it. Okay, please go through the mathematical expressions. Okay, if you have any doubt, please you can ask now. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Students, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Abdul, any doubt? Abdul? Adarsh?
No, sir.
Adarsh
No,
Shukla?
sir.
Adarsh Keja?
No, sir.
Akshay?
No, sir.
Alekya?
No, sir.
Anusha?
No, sir.
Bartesh?
sir.
Bartesh?
No, sir.
Chetan?
No, sir.
Pranay Reddy? Rakshata?
No, sir.
Rakshata Ravikumar?
No, sir.
Gurudeep? Gurudeep? Rishikesh?
No, sir.
Josh? Josh? Mahesh? Kaushi? Josh, Mahesh, Kaushi. Okay. Lakshmi?
No, sir.
Kavya?
No, sir.
Manohar? Mansi?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Nitin Gowda?
Sir.
Pranav? Ram
No,
Rarayan?
sir.
Ram Rarayan? Rishu? Ritika Raj?
No, sir.
sir.
Darshita? Sonam Shaikh? Shasti? Sneha?
No, sir.
Soumya? Srushti?
No, sir.
Suhas?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Suraj?
No, sir. Sujay.
Chetan?
No, sir.
Ta? Umar? Varsha?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Varun Prasad?
No, sir.
Vismaya? Raviteja Reddy?
Sir, no, sir.
No, sir.
Yashaswini? Okay. If you have any doubt with respect to today's class and yesterday's class, please call me. We can discuss. Okay. Thank you, students. Kindly fill the Google form. There is attendance come quiz. Okay. Please fill it. Thank you. Now we can exit. Thank you.